Okay, folks, let's get right to it. A pre-Independence Day session here. Markets are about to close momentarily, and right at the top of the hour. Hold on, let me get my levels straightened up. Looks like I'm kind of low. Anyway, while I'm bringing that to task, big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Hope you guys are enjoying your holiday week. There you go. That's a little better. That's a little higher. Anyway, great to see you guys. Listen, a lot to talk about. Believe it or not, we're going to talk about crypto today and then talk about the big summer targets that are almost hit. We talked about some big levels, I don't know, what was it, a week ago? And we're almost there. This is pretty remarkable stuff. Come on in, guys. Slowly, a lot of people probably taking off. Anyway, let me know what you guys want to look at. I'm going to keep it pretty loose after I go through Bitcoin, Nasdaq, and S&P 500. Right. I wonder. Hold on. 1 second, everybody. Let me get this up here. Meanwhile, I invite everybody to get over. Okay, get the free 2-week trial, Harmonic Pattern Collection. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. And let's give away something right now. Let's give away a 30-day package. Next person to type in HPC30 will give you 30 days TradingView, 30 days to the gold membership. And then, I think after what we did last 2 weeks ago, it was got a lot of great feedback. I think I should continue with those specific harmonic pattern collection software strategies. So let's see, Valfred, you win with HPC 30. Valfred, you have to hook up with me over at get on the Discord. I don't think you're on the Discord. So get over on the Discord. I'm going to give you the link and DM me. What I need from you is your full name, TradingView username, and email address. Hit me up over there. Anybody else, if you have questions, you want to contact me, the DM on Discord's the quickest, best place to reach me. Plus all the free resources there. Get with that program. Anyway, we'll give away one or two more, kind of a holiday session here. So let's make it a little bit fun. And everyone else as well, especially new folks, get over to harmonictrader.com and register as a basic member. And that's where it starts. Take 2 weeks, take a month, get acquainted, and then get ready. Because big things are happening, and we got to really dig down. And I'm willing to start with Bitcoin today. Nasdaq's up 225 though. S&P up another 54. Almost at target. I mean, it blows me away. And so I want to talk about that. But let's get Bitcoin out of the way here. Okay, still, we're moving forward from now to the end of the year. We're going to treat it. There's Bitcoin and there's crypto. Okay, so we're going to focus and still be on top of Bitcoin because it's one of the top assets in the world. Probably will eventually be a top asset. For now, 2 trillion. Okay, getting there. Getting close to NVIDIA. But what we want to see is really just kind of identifying larger, using Bitcoin as a part of what we do for a larger market understanding. Look, Bitcoin's going to be running, Nasdaq's going to be running, S&P, good markets. And that's pretty much what we have been saying since April. Just when? When does Bitcoin do what everybody wants it to do, which is skyrocket to 150, 200, 250, whatever? I don't think it's really, a lot of people are disappointed. I wouldn't be. And I'm currently still looking for the retracement on Bitcoin, but you have to admire the fact that this thing is pushing all-time new highs still. That's persistent. That's impressive. So don't despair. This is coming. So close, Mr. Fish. So close. Yeah, Valfred, you got to contact me on the Discord. It's the best place to do it. Send me your information. Um, but let's lay out what's happened with the larger shark pattern, what we can expect for the summer. I still think we're going to have a delayed kind of follow through with the big breakout. We know 115 on Bitcoin. Really, nothing goes crazy until we're above that hop level, which is 114, 250. We've been saying 115 because of the larger numbers, weekly, monthly. The character will change, but not until you get above that level. Everything else is on schedule. You know, stock market's all-time new highs. That's what we talked about since the end of the type 1 reaction, and then Bitcoin will continue to get allocation. And then if you want the rest of crypto to run, you got to see Bitcoin kind of just flying. It's the only way you're going to get money, allocation, serious energy back into all of the other crypto coins, and that's only if Bitcoin's flying. And then you've got kind of a sympathy play. That's what happened the end of last year. Bitcoin really started in earnest, and I would say go back to August, but then the rest of the complex really didn't catch fire until Bitcoin was all-time new highs. We had to go back to here. And this is pretty much the scenario I'm currently looking for before you can anticipate the rest of those crypto to run. If we are here, okay, with the pattern, I would say we're like somewhere in here, or even here. I would love one more retracement, and I'm impressed that it's 109,436. But where is the ideal opportunity? I mean, prove me wrong, but it would be on a retracement of this zone. So be aware of that, okay? And if it breaks out and, I miss the size up opportunity, because that's what we're really talking about, is where are we going to size up here? Yep. And that could come later this summer. I mean, the real breakout move, and still take 2-3 months before it gets completely rocketing above 115, 120. It would have to do something like that. But for now, we're going to still deal with this zone. But I'm not saying, I'm not being overly bearish. I'm not being overly critical. I'm just looking for the ideal sweet spots. And we have this, okay, so we got to kind of being here early, first show of the month. Actually, second show of the month, sorry, but really the new monthly candle is what I'm trying to get at. This matters, okay, and it's been remarkably strong last 30 months. You go back, that's just a beautiful chart. And this 1, 2, 3 is in a great shape. Now, however this pans out for July, we want to see the breakout. Don't come back. On the monthly chart, the prior low is like 98.5. And then your 3-bar low, including this month, is all the way back here. That's at 93. That's my only issue, where this is not going to, if we don't get that retracement to satisfy the shark to 5.0, okay, that's the first one I whiffed on in a while. It's a harmonic dud. Okay, we do have confirmation now, so we kind of reset the outlook. This is helpful. The 104 mark, a secondary oversold, meaning all that says is this is done. I mean, it's just that was all you could give you. Now, let's see where we are by Sunday, and certainly next week. Come in here on Tuesday. We might have a yellow dot, but I think it's going to be a thorough painting of the 110. We might even try to make a move up to 111 and change. So just understand, it's still in consolidation. Yeah, drifting higher, but We're looking for 115 to change the game. Much like what we saw on S&P 500 once that was above like 5,600. Yep. What do you guys think? Are we going to moon now or are we going to wait till August, September? I mean, I think we could take 4 to 6 weeks and then maybe have one more throwdown move. Um, and again, I like the fact that this pattern is here for two reasons. One, we want to see bearish patterns fail after some kind of reaction. That tells us, okay, the predominant trend has very little concern for any structure like that, but really common. And we went through this last week. We get these bearish patterns. We get a temporary 30, 60 bar reaction, and then you resume. And just, you go back the last several ones. And I continue to say that's where we are. Again, I've showed this several times. There's December. You go back here. There was a 1-2, type 1-2 on the bat from May until July, and you got the throwdown and return it. So, that's what I'm waiting for. I mean, that would be the ideal scenario. And again, even I've showed these before too. Bearish patterns off the low, and then what do? They get thrown down. You go through a kind of a reactionary retracement phase. Like here, throw down, type 1. I mean, that was amazing. Bearish shark to a 5-0 right off the low. Goodbye, never look back. And here's another shark. This one to target 2, all the way up. And then after we get through that, that's what you're looking for. So we have an idea, like within the framework. What are we looking for, Scott? Give me the end of this reaction. The fact that we have a new bearish oversold, overbought trigger, it probably caps it for now. I am overall impressed that we're not, we're holding above 100K generally. And, and so the long-term prophecy of what Bitcoin's doing continues. Still, there's a lot of other vehicles to take a look at. Let me segue over to stocks by just bringing up the newly impressive action in things like Clean Spark, where, I'm not too concerned that it's getting away from you or anybody. It's kind of a first thrust, if you will, after, I don't know, what's that, 18 months or more? 18 months of sideways to down corrective action. This is the first true breakout against this downtrend. Or here's one that I absolutely missed on. IREN. I really thought IREN would come back for the type 2. And as soon as I drew it, it went from 11 to 18. That happens. That happens. What do? You roll with it. Did I miss that? Yeah, but let's go back into the other space. Others in the space, because they're going to play catch up. So, hey, that's like a shot across the bow. Tell me about Mara. Is now the time, Mara, we should look at that? Possibly. And I still argue that, look, if these are going to really go, they're going to go a long way. But we need some wake-up signals, and stuff like Clean Spark definitely has it. Here's Hive. Hive could be another one to be looking at now, because if this is going to go, it's a big recovery move. Pretty interesting stuff. Here's the other one. This is a new one. Looking at Cantor Equity. I know everyone's saying, they're doing a Bitcoin thing. Let's keep an eye on this. Haven't done anything with that yet, but, we're getting patterns even after insane action. Just let it settle out. BTBT, maybe now. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. It just did nothing. All right, 190 to 290. That's how it goes. But I mean, it was just a scratch ago. Maybe. I mean, it definitely, with others running, at least money's moving into that space. So let's see. Couple more. In terms of the miners, of course, we have Coinbase, which is something, we were way in front of this really since April. Hit the 150 target two, all the way back to 353 now. The Type 2 officially complete as of last week. It was really Monday, yesterday. Sorry, Monday being 3 days ago. It was the first time where that would be official, but what's going on? We're back up into the overbought. So you're going to have to give it more time. This could still be something where you're 353 currently. We could make a run to the hop level on this move. Maybe. Huh. Greg says BTBT is going to mine Ethereum over Bitcoin. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's an easier gig. MicroStrategy, okay. I think that's getting ready to go. You're sitting here at 403. I've been saying that we still need to retest this all-time high because that's an all-time 1618 extension. Think of it as the Type 2. We go back to 2000. Talk about dot-com bust. That was a dot-com bust. It went, well, what did it come out at? It was pretty crazy. Like 11, and then that was 300 and something. And then went back, I think, to like $1. Oh no, it was lower than that. It was like $1. And it didn't do much. I mean, 20 years, guys. And then there had the big move right back, and probably the greatest opportunity. Even though you could say, "Oh man, I bought it in 2000 for $1." Hey, I bought it in 2023, and for $15, and I didn't have to wait. Regardless, look, we got to retest that. That's like 545, and I don't. This stuff has definitely been gaining traction here. No, I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, but I don't know the particulars, Daniel, about the Ethereum. I thought you can still mine Ethereum. Don't know. Anyway, so that's MicroStrategy, and I come back to say the 4-hour chart. Okay, we just wait for the 4-hour dots like that. Last jump on point was 368. Okay, and that was about 8, 9 days ago, 10 days ago. So just you're gonna have to be patient with that. You'll get another opportunity. It's actually we're under the 50 currently. What is that? INSW? INSW. I don't know what that is. International Seaways. They got to be a shipper. Yielding 10%. Yeah, because they just dish back the money. Um, yeah, I'm not really. I think the shipping stocks they're kind of like natural gas. That's pretty funny. I'm looking at the daily chart. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Bat pattern right at 37. It's not bad. I mean, 10% yield is can't argue with that. It just has to hold. This thing does look better, and this is what I've been saying about a lot of crypto, or even just a lot of markets that have been trending down. All right, you've got at least on this one, you're going back. I mean, go back a year. There's been not a single reason to be looking at that until maybe 30 days ago, like there, because you're beyond the downtrend. You come back, you kiss that, There's a daily oversold trigger at 37. But this is what I'm talking about with a lot of markets that have been trending down last 18 months, 2 years. Until they can bust out, you just got to let them be. What do I mean? It reminds me of natural gas in terms of the shipping stocks and natural gas. What I mean by that is they tend to be dead for a long time, and then they have their cycle, and then they go back to being dead. They don't really have a consistent long-term cyclical action. They just seem to go dead. But this one's not bad. I mean, this one, it's all right. You protect yourself, get that 10%. Um, Really quick, let me take a look at. There was one other one. Sorry. Oh well, I did want to look Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, the ETF, because this is really interesting. We're getting this high level signal of HSI on the daily. Okay, we've had that before, and it doesn't have to mean anything, but I just want to circle back before I move on to anything else about Bitcoin itself and the Grayscale Trust. You guys know how I feel about the security of crypto exchanges. So the GBTC it's not a bad way to be thinking about playing the big Bitcoin move if that's going to go. And of course, again, we come back. This had a crazy pattern. I mean, it just this Gartley might go down as legendary material. And so the Gartley, I mean, this Gartley reminds me of the spot price Gartleys from 2016. And I think it's remarkable. You look at this high to low range and you project it out. Where's the 1618? 1618, we're like just shy. That's like 30, it's like $90. So that's a key level for GBTC as well. Keep that in mind. What you're looking for is for GBTC to do something like that. I was looking at this recently. I thought this was just it's good to look at these secondary vehicles aside from the spot. See if there's any structure. What's that look like? It's beautiful. And there's nothing here yet to even end that show. And I think if we go crazy, full 314, you're talking about a double. And that's would be Bitcoin 200K. But we're a long way from that. These measured possibilities they're real. But again, we need to see some things come together before it can launch like this. And why not just, hey, someday we get there, but why not just maintain that nice, steady uptrend? And, if you just project that trend channel out, we would be at that 314, but it would be a year from now. We'll see. Yeah, but, GBTC, whether they're buying or selling, I'm just talking, look, turn all that off and just, let's admire the trend here. Let's admire that there is just a steady progression, stair-stepping here with your long-term chart, that's what you want. And wait for the retracements. Couple more. All right, for a second, let's just quickly do Ethereum. Kind of all over today. Keep it loose. You guys, you want to shill me a couple things really quick? Do it now. Market's about to close. I didn't even get into that. I meant to get into that today. I meant to get into the futures today. Oh well. Next week. There's Ethereum. And we're back right there, 2,600, 25.75. Same kind of deal. Like nothing will happen until we see a couple more bullish months. I would think you're kind of at best developing like you were back there in 22, 23. You could be 6 months in that sideways range. Not there yet. Let me quick pull up. Take a look at Nasdaq. What did that finish up at here? 1259. Up to 22, guys. Beautiful. That's beautiful. All time. All time wackadoo. Let's jump to there really quick. Let's go to Nasdaq. I'm kind of jumping around, but look, 23,146, 23,100. That has been our objective, and we're gonna reach it. We're getting a little frothy, but we can trickle up. We can keep moving. The interesting thing that happened on Tuesday was we did get oversold or overbought. Excuse me, right there. And then today would be check back day, so you're still look two more trading. You would need two more bearish candles until you get a dot. So you're not even thinking anything until really after next week. That is true. Yeah. Well, great to be here. Thanks. So we're still playing for that larger retest. Nothing changes. Just be aware as well. The weekly, just beautiful action. This fits within the scenario we've been talking about of the bypass. Can we bypass this whole resistance zone here and go to a 1618? That's the play between now and the end of the year. Last week, beautiful. This week, did its job. And now, okay, unless we get something, that rolls out. And look what happened here this week. Again, just so you understand where we are within the relative framework. We are poking overbought, but that's so early in the process that we will get a few weeks of follow through. And I'm going to say where we are currently is a lot like where we were back in late November, early December 2023. Pretty remarkable. And we're pushing to the overbought. And that's important because what we want to see, like we had back here in 23, is like 4 or 5 weeks straight up as that pushes higher. And we also have that in amplified. So just know how high can we go? We're looking for 23.1, 23.146 to be exact. Sorry, 23.595 is the top end hop range. There's a whole bunch of stuff, guys, at 23,600. That would be the maximum. We talked about targets a week or so ago, and now they're quickly coming to fruition. All of that. Oh, really quick. Okay, so the S&P 500. What are the targets? We had a few. Right now, we're overshooting the bat pattern here. 64.65 is the hop level. That would be the maximum upside projection. And then again, look what's going on. This is even stronger. S&P broke the overbought and just continues to push higher. That is expansion, guys. I know it seems like, hey, we've come such a far amount in such a short period of time. This is big time expansion. And that overbought signal will be driven by higher prices until we hit this target. 63 and a quarter, 63.25 in the S&P 500. That's amazing. But I would look for that as high as 64.65 before anything rolls over. Yeah. Yeah, you're looking for an inflection by the peak of the summer. You're looking for an inflection in this zone, and it's probably 3 weeks away. Typical, right? 2, 3 weeks away. Let me kind of come back around and just go through, see what you guys have. Go back to the top here. Let me scroll back here and then I'll just go from what I've got. Rogelio, what's up? Wants to look at silver. Mr. Bull, we looked at all of those already. MicroStrategy, Coinbase. I'm just going to go right off the top. Silver, SLV, is that there yet? Silver, the SLV 3350. This is a daily, and again, we're just still higher. $35. Yeah, I mean that's pretty easy at this point. But remember, it's all about this monthly. These are massive monthly patterns. Okay, and the way this has unfolded is actually really good that we got a reaction. Check out this is a monthly deep crab. We had that reaction. Go back here on, what was that, October. It wasn't a type 1, but it was almost perfect. That reaction alone tells us, hey, that's all I'm going to give you. And it actually sets up a more likely scenario to break out. You get above 34, 34.10, it's gone. I like it. I mean, that and gold, why would they stop? Why would they stop? Especially with what's happening now. You know, I'm looking for gold. Right? It's sitting right here, guys, 33.40. We know the number is 33.50. That's a monthly. There's the weekly. Here's the daily with the bullish oversold HSI. So now you have something in gold where give it, a week, 2 weeks up here. Sure looks like it's a failed bearish pattern where we're looking for this hop level, this to be support. This is classic failed framework. Look, you had the crab pattern. Okay, you ran up into that target. Nice reaction, but that's all you get. And then 1 counter, 2 counter, 3 counter HSI bullish signals. This could be what sends it. And again, the only targets above this area is 4,100. Let's keep it rocking. XLE, energy ETF, I'm of the opinion crude oil is going down. So XLE for me, the last daily signal is bearish. I mean, that was bullish, but you got to go to the monthly to really get the picture here, is that you're capped by several patterns, basically $95, 97 at the top end. I don't see this moving too much. But it's not a bad idea. What's HOVR? HOVR for EZ. What's up, EZ? New Horizon aircraft. Is this one of these Archer aircraft things? Because if it is, get me in. Oh, look at this. Where were you like a month, 2 months ago? At 40 cents. All right, you're going to have to bring this easy, Mr. Easy. You're going to have to bring this back. HOVR. Please remind me next week to look at this. We saw Archer. We saw Joby, Joby, do things. Maybe here's Joby. I've talked about this several times. Let's keep it moving. GXLM. Oh, the Stellar Lumens ETF. With all the patterns in the world, this is what blows my mind. Love these patterns, right? But What is it doing here? It's basically telling you what it wants to do. Nothing yet. Okay, one, two, three, four HSI counter signals against the bullish pattern. Not yet. Not yet. I don't, this isn't ready. It's a beautiful pattern. I mean, amazing. The problem here, you're going to need another bullish signal to negate all four of the prior ones. That's what happened back here when we caught that last year. We had a bunch, but then right before the big move, we got a dot and it was never looking back. And that's where we are now. This is my frustration with crypto is that there are so many beautiful patterns, but then you get in on them and they do the delayed 6-month consolidation before they want to do anything. It's confounding, difficult. Wait for the bullish confirmation. That's going to be the easiest way to optimize the entry. And if it goes sideways and you can scratch out after, give it enough time. But if it's not going to move, it's not going to move. That's how I feel about it. I'm indifferent. I want markets moving though. A couple more. WIF. Is that the whiff hat? All right, I'm willing to go there. Just kind of wrap up what we're doing here today. But here's the dog with hat. And I can't do these. Patterns, sure. There's patterns here. Are we going to move off of these lows someday? I can't give you a clear read on that. If I'm going to just trace this out like any other asset, I'd say, okay, it's, at least you have violated this downtrend. I would say whatever this market was, the initial frenzy phase has the 886 retest, and that's at like 53 cents. But you keep running into, again, bearish overbought signals that just crack it back down. You do have something on dog whiff hat at 86, but again, guys, this is not a trending market. It's not a trending market. Okay, it's just not. And I think the place to be is stocks. If you're looking for trending markets, wait for Bitcoin 4-hour oversold readings. What's up, Wayne? Wants to look at AMD. Let's keep it rolling. I'm going to probably give away one more 30-day package, and then I'll get out of here early. But just to let you guys know, AMD is a beautiful weekly specimen, beautiful type 1 bat. The bigger story about AMD is semiconductors. And so I'm just going to kind of lay out a general strategy here that I'm looking for the stocks to go to all-time new highs before the end of the year. We'll get to that in a second. AMD was a massive weekly retest. I don't disagree. $80, $79, huge pivot within the long-term story AMD. We'll get another opportunity. I would wait for, again, here's the daily picture. So what do you think of that? You have a pretty ugly overrun and then pretty crazy bat pattern. I would just wait for another daily oversold like this. All right, that was the first higher oversold HSI in the whole correction. So let's get another one. Let it come back, but look, if something like AMD is really going to run, this is going to be just the start of the move. It's got a long way to go. The SOX is going to be like this, guys, and I'm going to give you the two. That get to the promised land here. All right, get to the promised land of, look, let's recognize what's the SOX doing. Now 56.47. Hit the hop at 56.45 off of that bat. That's great. No confirmation. Is that going to bypass it? Because the SOX is more about what's going on in the monthly. Long-term channel, fully intact. And I think 61.45, like another 10% higher, is easily achievable. And you get there with the likes of NVIDIA, where you take Nvidia right now, 159. Oh my God. Guys, that's got 200 written all over it, okay? I mean, Nvidia, this is a massive breakout. Here we go again. And Nvidia does massive price discovery acceleration now. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. 1618 is like 192, 193. And then the 1902 up here is that's like 210, 215. Let's say that. 195, 215. And then just wait for the pullbacks, the hourly, the 4 hour, stuff like that. You know, had a couple double dots today. Go with the trend. Okay, that's different than a dog with hat, honestly. You'll win that way. Here's Broadcom. This is the other one, the other two. Broadcom's going to like 330, guys. You're 275. You're at all-time new highs already. And it's like this, you know, there's the projections. 1618 on this move is pretty easy to get you to 3.25, maybe higher. So Nvidia to 195, Broadcom to 325, and those are your two primary tech moves for semis. A couple more. I like AMD, but let's wait for a pullback on it. Did it really? Floyd saying Kraft Heinz spiked. Did it? What'd it do? 2 points? 3 points? Not a biggie. I mean, look, this is another one. I said this last stream. Someone's saying this spiked. I love the idea. You know, if I wanted to put something away thinking, okay, I'm going to take really dead money. And I'm not going to expect much, just, you know, kind of low beta play. Here's Kraft Heinz. That's a monthly chart. There should be a big bat pattern right here anyway. Theoretically, it's a great idea. But at what price? And do we have the formation? Not almost there, but not quite. Couple more. Let's wrap it up. Apple for Mr. I. Apple's another one. You want to win it? You're in it to win it? Buy Apple. Long the fruit. Because here's another HSI going on the monthly basis. This is the second bullish reading since the low in 16. The last one was 2022. I don't think you're getting hurt down here. We're not getting the bummer is we don't get the type 2 on the crab. It was so close. It's just not going to do it. We had this long consolidation here, so I'd be looking for this. You know, I'm fine to buy it here. I mean, shit, even if it went to 185, I don't care. You're buying baseball cards with these kind of monthly continuation signals. I mean, seriously, you're buying here at 205, 210, and you just wake me up in about 4 or 5 years at 350 or 400 because you're playing this continuation, guys. That's it. This is our premise. This is our long-term premise, and then within this long-term premise, we're looking for spots like here and there. Channel continuations. This is the stock market. This is the market you are currently in, enjoying. Be grateful that we have this kind of clear trend channel action, high volume, super liquidity. Even on low volume days, things are trading well. I'd love 185 too. I don't think we're getting it. All right, couple more, and then we're going to wrap this up. Palantir is just a pause. This is going to eventually fail. Okay, right now, I mean, this is just insanity, that one. All right, we're at the shark, 133. Let this do what Bitcoin's doing. Go sideways. But let me tell you, wake me up with the next daily HSI and buy it. Because, you know, Palantir is only a $300 billion company. Only. This company's got 1 trillion valuation written all over it. It's got everything like a Google or a Microsoft or a Tesla. I mean, this company I feel should be worth $1 trillion, which is triple where it's currently trading. Where does that take it? $400. If it went to $1 trillion market cap, I think that could happen over the next 3 years, 4 years, especially in the budget that they just got. But we'll wait. Above 142, 145, Palantir doesn't look back. And that's what we're looking for. Couple more. Hey, who's buying my software? Who's going to buy my software? Here you go. Okay. Who's going to buy my software? First, get your TradingView username over to hpc at sr-analyst.com. And I'll tell you what. Next person to type in HPC30, I'm going to give you 30 days gold membership, 30 days TradingView. And if you want to buy it or subscribe, I'll give you 30% off. How about that? That's like the triple 30 deal. I hope that helps a lot of the new people. You want to get on this? Maybe we'll start adding that to our 30 deal. GoldenEye, you win it. GoldenEye, you got to connect with me. All right. And the other person that won earlier today, I'll give you the 30% offer too. 30 days gold, 30 days TradingView, and then 30% off when you want to subscribe or purchase. I hope that helps. Yep. Trying to help you guys, but I'm telling you, it's like we're going to be navigating these patterns for the next 3 to 5 years. These are massive structures, and if we break out and we fail and we continue higher, folks, this is the generational opportunity. And it's not just crypto, it's more stocks. One or two more. Tesla. I want to see you guys get it. Get with the program. There's so much garbage out there. And again, this group knows what we're looking at. But for people that are new, especially, this is my shout out to you. Step up, but try it for free. And again, it won't take you more than a week to see what you're looking at. Tesla. Can we get 267? I would love that. And like Apple at 185, if we could get Apple to 185 and Tesla 267, you limit long at those two levels, and you come back in like 5 years. That's the kind of setup this is. Tesla, I'm watching. I'm waiting. Again, I would love to get a retest. 267, still 315. This is where you can get a little tricky because you want to jump it. I'll wait for 267. What's up, Steady G? It's only for the winners. The 30% off is for the winners. Okay, we did a little month-end trial. We did a month-end promo for 20% off the end of June. A couple people took advantage of that. But this will be a 30-day package. I'll do that for July. Tyson Foods, another great idea. Love it. Just kind of put the money away, and it's a low beta play. $55, tons of stuff. It's just not going to run. You're looking for this to go from like 55 to 75 over the next 3 years. A lot of things are here on Tyson, but it's not a trending stock. We want trending stocks, guys. This is recovery. Okay, and it would be great if this long-term trend could continue, but Tyson Foods is basically where it was 10 years ago. We want markets that have retraced where they were 10 days ago and then continue. Yeah. Yeah. Well, oil, if oil goes down a little bit more, it's going to crack. I'm still of the opinion that crude oil, guys, is going to go back to $43. And I want to say that. I'll keep repeating that. I think crude oil on this monthly chart, and it depends on where it's. This larger light sweet is 29. I think I was saying 30. Yeah, but we have a couple of other patterns with the contract adjustment button is like 45, 43. I think that's where it should be. And that knucklehead's he's got to cut rates. There is no inflation, but he doesn't want to. We'll have to see. Don't know. Don't know. One or two more. Oh, come on, really? All right, Leo wants Tia. This is a crypto. And Leo, why do we want to look at Celestia? Please. Celestia here. This is so many crypto. I'm just going to let it go. This is maybe this is a great way to leave it, okay? I want you guys to win. And so sometimes I gotta bust some skulls to get you guys to listen. But seriously, over the next 6, 12, 18 months, 2 years, okay, we want to go with assets and markets that are already trending like this. Retrace, go, retrace, and then go again. All right, this is our premise. If we take out, I don't care what sector it's involved in, whatever, if we take out all the garbage that's doing this, we're trying to go long markets that are just doing that and then just keep going down. It's a losing strategy. And we can separate the ones that are clearly trending. Nvidia, Broadcom. I mean, these are no-brainers, right? So let's stick with those. The crypto stuff, I'm sorry. If you want to go crypto, take that money and put it into Bitcoin and just don't even look at it for 10 years. Because that's the other play that for a lot of people that are shilling meme coins and other things, maybe it's just time to say, okay, you might win big. And I've won big on some real crap coins. But what's going to get you to the promised land? Nvidia or dog with hat? Broadcom or Doge? And I'm talking even if you have a couple $1,000 and that's it. First, don't lose. Then make on top of that. And then compound on top of that. And do that 3 to 5 years. You'll be in the spot you're looking to get. That's why we do what we do. That's why I do this with the software and the shows. Does it look like a bottoming structure on the alts? No, hell no. No, it looks like a broke down structure. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. And again, I don't know how Doge is even holding up. But Doge, it's 17 cents. There's a bunch of things at 14, 15. I say it busts. I think Doge is like a 9.5, 10-cent creature. It's a $25 billion market cap. It shouldn't even be $2 billion in my opinion. But there's better markets here. I would say semiconductors and then Mag 7 or Mag 15 to get to the promised land by the end of the decade. You better be kidding, Mr. Bat's son. Can we look at Big Time or Synapse? No, we cannot. No, because we have to spend our time on things that are going to work. Yeah. Forget about it. Forget about it. That's good enough. All right? Winners, please get over to the Discord. No, I mean I'm not done with that. But everyone else, hit me up in the Discord. You have any questions? You need a discount? I don't know. How can I facilitate your learning curve? Because it still is up to you. We can go through all these great patterns over and over again, you know. But how we get into the promised land? There's the solar ETF. Maybe next time we'll talk about solar stocks because they're seeming to catch a bid now. This is the solar ETF, the TAN, and this could be a very big breakout. But let's save that for Tuesday. I mean, that's something, that's a chart and a pattern where you do have development. But we'll save that for Tuesday. Listen, everyone, have a great holiday. Seriously, go in the pool, go enjoy yourself, eat a hamburger, have a beverage, and come on back refreshed on Tuesday. Until then, as always, folks, go get him. We'll catch you next time.